Hello and welcome to Mountain Patriot Homestead. I hope you'll forgive me for looking like I've been rode hard and put up wet, but I have come in the house for a little bit because it's done got downright hot outside. We had a couple of weeks of like early fall temperatures, wonderful, beautiful temperatures, but yeah, summer wasn't going to give up that easy. So summer's back. And I have been outside since 7:30 this morning. I was outside, I guess about 6 hours. My math is right. And I was working on the porch. Here a while back, I told y'all something about I was redoing the porch. We were trying to get it uh, cleared off, cleaned off, uh, painted, and I've just been working on painting today. And at this rate, it's going to take me. I should be done by maybe July of 2026, somewhere in there. Hopefully, it don't take me that long. But out there today, it felt like it was taking that long. And me, I am not a professional painter. I work cheap. So that's why I'm doing it, because I work cheap. But by no means am I a professional painter, because somehow I can get paint. I'm wearing a hat and I got paint in my hair. So yeah, I'm not a professional painter, but I thought I would, since I was coming in the house to try to cool off a little bit, figured I'd just sit down and visit with y'all for a few minutes, just kind of catch you up with what's going on around here. We have done something that for us is a big deal. For y'all may not matter a hill of beans, but if you live in an area where you don't have good internet service, our internet around here, we've got one local company that has internet. And at one time, when we had it the first time, when it got to the point that my speeds were so low that I couldn't even send or receive emails, I had it turned off. I mean, at that point, it's pointless. And they had told me then, if you ever have it turned off, we may not be able to put you back on the service. And it's like, well, does it matter? Because I can't even send an email now. And so I had it turned off. Well, they come in and they put in new high fandangled lines and all that sort of stuff. It was supposed to be this real high speed, just real fancy service and all this, burning fast service. And compared to what we had, yes, it was, because it at the very top end was a 25 download, 25 whatever it is, download speed, and my upload at the very highest was 3. Well, that's if there was nothing turned on. If you turned on the TV and tried to stream a movie, it would go from 25 down to about between 13 and 16, which is not horrible compared to not being able to send an email horrible, but it would still, a lot of times, especially with newer stuff, it would just sit there and buffer, and the little spinny thing on the TV, it would do that. And if we had multiple devices on, it would just drop way down. And these videos, when I would do a video, many times my videos, it would take 2 to 3 hours to upload a short video. And it got to the point, it was so frustrating. I could go to town and not be hooked up to any internet other than through my phone, and upload faster than I could through my internet here at the house. So that's how bad the upload was. One day we were talking to our eldest and told him you know, about having such bad internet, which of course he was aware of. He doesn't live here, but his internet there for a while was non-existent as well where he lives. But we had talked to him about it, and I mentioned Starlink, and for the longest we couldn't get Starlink here in our area because I guess there just wasn't enough satellites up there. And I remember the first time we saw those satellites traveling, when they, I guess, released them. And I think they're even called a train because it looked like a train of lights going across the sky. And I remember we were sitting over at the lake. We were actually camping, and we were sitting there, and all of a sudden I see this whole string of lights. Well, my first thought is, are we being invaded? Or did we just witness UFOs? Well, anyway, of course, what does everybody do? I go to Google. And so I Googled it and found out that they had just released another batch of the little satellites for Starlink. Not a problem. Well, finally, this little short story is not short, apparently. But finally, we got enough satellites, I guess, into the air that there's coverage for Starlink here. And we were mentioning to our oldest son that we were considering Starlink, and he said, "Well, I've got a Starlink kit sitting in my garage. It's been out there, you know, forever." And he said because I'd bought it and was going to use it, but then they got really good internet here that I'm hooked up to, and I just have never hooked it up. So, what ended up happening is he was coming up here to help my husband with something else anyway, and he brought it with him. And so they got out there and they rigged up a little trial doohickey. Does words come hard for you sometimes? For me, it's like I'm trying to speak a foreign language. They put a barrel out there and rigged it up with the Starlink dish on top of it. And so we decided we were going to try it on a trial basis and keep our other internet going just in case maybe Starlink didn't work for us. Well, my son was able to transfer his Starlink account over to us, and real simple, he went on his phone and, punched in his stuff, and it come to my phone, and I had to accept it and open an account. Really easy. Sometimes technology stuff is not easy, but honestly, this couldn't be any easier. And so I accepted it and entered in, my information, and immediately the little dish out there, once we turned it on, too much Coke, once we turned it on and got it, we just temporarily hooked it up in the house from this barrel to the TV or to the little router thing in here. And it immediately, the dish started on its own doing brr, and arranged itself to point toward wherever I guess it thought was a good spot. And so for the last, Robert, you'll have to remind me down below when you were here, but anyway, the last 3 or 4 weeks, we have been using this Starlink, and we had a terribly hard rain during this trial period, and it buffered for like 3 seconds and then went right back to its programming. And we have had no problem with the Starlink. It has worked so well. Last night we did a speed test on it. No joke, our speed test said 170 on the download speed. I forgot what the upload speed was, like, I don't even remember. But I'll tell you the difference. When I before, when I tried to upload one of these videos, it could be a 20-minute video and it would take 2 to 3 hours to upload to YouTube. And that's if it uploaded at all, because sometimes it would get right to the end and then it would say upload failed. And then I would have to start all over again. And I'm telling you, sometimes it was really frustrating just to upload to the simplest little videos that didn't amount to a hill of beans, but I wanted them to upload because that was the whole point. Now I can upload, and within minutes, the video uploads, and that is so much better. So, do I recommend Starlink if you have terrible internet and you're looking for something? And as far as cost wise, the cost for our Starlink account is no more than it is for our the internet service that we have locally, because the internet service we have locally, you have to have a phone and you have to have the internet to, in order to have internet, of course. And so both of those together were the cost of our Starlink account, our monthly account. And you don't have to have a contract with them or anything like that. And let me just say, I'm not getting paid by Starlink. They have no idea who Mountain Patriot Homestead is. They could care less. But I'm telling you, for us, this has been a game changer. So today, we had our local internet turned off. And we're that happy and we're that convinced that it works well that we turned off our local internet today, and we are strictly going with Starlink. So it's an option if you are looking. Now, I know the initial kit, we were real fortunate. Our son had one, he didn't want any more, and so we were able to just get his. But I know the startup kit is rather expensive, but in the long run, especially if you're using it to work off of, or if you're not able to accomplish what you want to with your internet, the kit may be worth it. I know they're several $100s, but if you're looking for an option, that's an option that I do recommend. If you have enough satellites in your area, you'd have to check and see. But I am very happy with ours, and I just wanted to pass that along to y'all. I also want to pass along that, and I don't know what the exact number is right now because I haven't looked in the last few minutes, but I wanted to say that the subscribers on this channel, here just recently, I hadn't even looked back to see how long ago, but I know it was not very long ago that I was on here, and I was celebrating because we had reached 1,000 subscribers, and I'm just blown away by that. But today, we have topped over 1,500 subscribers. And bless y'all, I don't know what y'all find worth watching with me, but I appreciate it, and I love y'all, and I sure hope you keep coming back, and maybe I'll clean up next time and won't look like I've been hit by a truck. But in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you come back again real soon. Mountain Patriot Homestead, signing out.